Hello, beautiful mamas. Happy Mama's First Monday to you all. So let's see, make sure my microphone's good. So today, y'all, excuse me for all that, got phlegm. But look, today, I'm so excited. And I always say that, but look, I'm saying that today because this right here is something that has sustained me through a lot of stuff that I've gone through, and a lot of the people that I've helped, it has helped them as well. So sustain them and help them to go level to level to level to level, which is what it's all about. We're never meant to stay on the same level. So, episode 34 is all about helping you to grow. So, today's episode is simply titled Reflecting on Growth Journal Prompts and Reflections for Personal Insight and Growth. And yeah, it says personal insight because honestly, it always starts with us. But this is not only going to help you grow, but it's going to help you help your family grow. Because those who know me know that I'm all about helping moms put themselves first in a way that actually is good for them and their family. Because if you're not putting you first, then it's very difficult for you to have the meaningful life connections or things happening for you in life until you are there first. You're taking care of you. And remember, in order for you to take care of you, you have to love you. In order for you to love you, you have to be aware of who you truly are. And that's something we talk about all the time. So if you've missed some episodes, go back, especially if you're watching this on YouTube, you have the opportunity to go back and find them easier than you would on Facebook. But anywho, let's just get right into it. The problem or the opportunity is reflecting on growth, on wins and growth. Now, here's the problem. Oftentimes, we don't focus on our wins. We don't focus on our growth. We're just like kind of just hee-hawing through life or whatever you want to call it, just going through life without even looking at the things that we're actually doing that are good. And oftentimes, we find ourselves in a comparison trap where we compare ourselves to other people who are doing great. And we're like, well, why am I not doing as great as them? And then we often forget maybe they're on chapter 10 and maybe we're just the introduction. We're not even in chapter 1. So don't compare yourself to others. Only compare you to you. Compare you to who you were last year. Compare you to who you were 5 years ago. Like only do that. Even compare yourself to who you were yesterday if you'd like to. Like start small, but start with you. Because when you can focus on you first, then those things outside of you don't seem like big old mountains. Okay. All right. So, first off, I need you to know this growth, you all, is inevitable. Something in your life is going to grow. The thing is, the direction of growth is up to you. And I think I said it in the last live I did, the last episode 33, about how whatever you plant will grow. And if you, whatever you feed your soul is feeding your spirit, it's feeding your mind, and it's going to feed your results. So, yeah, whatever you plant will grow. And so, if you're planting those things that are not going to grow, like the comparison, then what's going to happen will grow for your good. What's going to happen is that's going to start growing. You got to start feeling resentment. You're going to start feeling like you can never add up. And that's why I always say start with you, focus on you, because if you take all the focus off of everything else around you and put it on you, then it makes it a little bit different. Okay. Now, this next part, this one, I need you to hear it. Your wins are important. Never minimize them. One more time. Your wins are important. Never, ever, ever minimize your wins. They are so important. And so today I'm going to give you all a few journaling prompts that I actually like to use. And they're going to be kind of vague, so you can kind of put them how you want to put them. And I will give you some examples about how you can do that as well. And if you have a journal with you, take a random journal, write them in your journal so that you'll have them and then you can go do prompts, or you can put them in the notes section of your phone. Either one is fine. Okay, so the solution today is growth. So I'm going to give you some journaling prompts based off of the word growth. So you only have 6, so you can do this probably in 5-10 minutes. And if you're really fast, maybe even a minute. So the first thing you want to do is focus on your gratitude journal. So for this part, just write down gratitude, or you can say gratitude journey. It's fine. Document this every day. Reflect on moments of gratitude and growth in your life and family. Like, what are you grateful for? How have you all grown? How are you grateful for that? Like for me, for example, I reflect on how the relationship with my kids has grown. My relationship with my husband has grown. And that's because my relationship with myself has grown. So that's a personal win, personal reason that I am grateful. Okay. So that's something that I would definitely suggest, because gratitude opens up doors to everything. Because what we focus on, it's going to come back to us. And it's something about that gratitude. That gratitude, when we push all that gratitude out, more things to be grateful for starts coming back. And if we put out, if we put out ungratitude, if that's the word, what's going to happen is things to be ungrateful for. If we put out ungratefulness, things to be ungrateful for are going to come back. So what I want you to do is put out gratitude into the world. Put out gratitude, okay? The next thing, this one is focusing on resilience building. So this is all about exploring the challenges that you've overcome. And think about it. Almost every challenge you've had so far, you've overcome. And if you're in one right now, 9 times out of 10, or probably 10 times out of 10, you're going to overcome it. And I want you to think about how they've contributed to your resilience. For me, for example, being a mom is not the easiest thing. Being a wife is not the easiest thing. I have 4 girls. My younger three. It has been interesting because first off, I'm 41. My youngest is 5, and that's been rough for me. Some of y'all are probably older with younger. I get it, but you guys, it gets rough sometimes trying to still be there for them and do things for them while they are that young and I feel a little older. But that's why I supplement my body with things that I know will help it, so that I can be there for my babies. And I really believe that that has allowed me to actually live more and realize that whatever's going on in my life, I can overcome it. And not just for me, but also for them. Like, but me first, I have to want to overcome things so that I can be there for my kids. So me first, kids second, and then all of us win. So what are things that you've had to overcome? Like, I've had to overcome health. And those of y'all who know me personally know the health struggle I'm talking about. If you all would love to hear me talk about it in the future, drop me a message, send me a message, or drop it here. It doesn't matter. I'll talk with you all about that, because for me, that's one thing that, I had to decide. Am I going to let this keep me down, or am I going to get out there and do what I got to do? and my hope, my prayer for you is that you would get out there and do what you have to do, regardless of what you have to go through, because what you're going to have to go through is still going to keep happening. So you're going to let that let you sit down and keep you from living your best life? I sure hope not. Okay, so the next one is with the O, is opportunity mindset. So I want you to develop an opportunity mindset, because oftentimes when we see things, we don't see them as opportunities, we see them as things we cannot have. So what I want you to do is to shift perspectives, to see obstacles as opportunities for growth and learning. And that's why when I do my thing up here and I say problem slash opportunity, it's because some of us may see it as a problem, but I want you to see it as an opportunity. So for example, when my health started to decline, I had to either see it as an obstacle or see it as opportunity for growth. And honestly, at first, I saw it as a huge obstacle, because those of y'all who know me and know my story know that this has not been an easy journey for me. I may cry while I'm just sitting up here thinking about it, but it has not been a very easy journey for me. It's been very difficult. It's been a long journey, and there are people who've been through worse than what I've been through, but my bad is my bad. What I'm dealing with is what I'm dealing with. Everyone has things that they're dealing with, and no one should minimize what you're going through. Like, what I'm dealing with is nothing that will kill me, but it's definitely not fun, and it definitely limits what I can do. So I'm very careful, but lately I'm like, okay, I got to do something, even if I have to kind of like pace myself. Like I told you guys, I have a 5-year old, I have a 7-year old, I have a 10-year old, and a 21-year old, and I just want to enjoy life with them. I want them to be able to enjoy life and not have to see mommy just sitting at home, just woe is me. So I want you to shift your perspective. So for me, what I've done is now I see where me showing up for myself and showing up for my family is helping other moms to show up for themselves and their families, helping other parents to show up for themselves and for their family and for others. So, baby, shift that mindset, mamas. Let's shift it so we can help our babies shift it too, because how we think in most cases is how our kids are going to think as well. Okay, sorry I went so long on that one. That's really one of my favorites. So the next one, the W, is wisdom reflection. So here you're going to reflect on wisdom. So consider lessons that you've learned and insight gained from experiences. Like oftentimes people go on different social media platforms and they will post things like, give me some of the best advice you have or something like that. And for me, it's all about getting wisdom. Like, what kind of lessons have you learned? I'm gonna share this story. So, not so long ago, my husband and I, and the girls, we just had a day together. It was really fun, and we ended up going to a local gas station, Sam's gas station. And while we were there, I noticed that there were people. You know how they have arrows to keep order. I noticed people were going the opposite way of the arrows and we were going the right way. And it was just like so clear that there are some people in this life who will go against the order, they will go against the arrows. In some cases, it's not a bad thing, but they go against the arrows. And oftentimes, when they go against those arrows of life, they often feel like other people are going against their arrows. So it's like, whoa, maybe we are not following the arrows of life. Oftentimes, especially my believers, we know that God is sending arrows of life our way. And the question is, are we following those arrows of life or are we just trying to make our own? Now, in some cases, there may be times we have to make our own, but it's based on who we are. And oftentimes we try to recreate things instead of just following the order because I always tell my kids the best leaders are the best followers. And following those arrows is not going to mess you up. And sometimes we don't want to follow the arrows because we feel like it takes too much time. But sometimes that time is so necessary. Like for me, time has been necessary because I have to be the person before I can truly have and maintain the stuff that comes with being that person. Okay. So, what I want you to do is just reflect on some things that you've learned, whether it's been recent or whether it's been years. Okay. And whether you may have to go and just look something up, and that's totally fine too. All right. So, the next one, the T is transformational growth. Like this one, you all is, I don't know, I love this. Like, I want you to kind of, you know how sometimes you see like plants, how they have like an animation where the plants start as a seed and then they just start growing, growing, growing. That's how I want you to think about your life. I want you to reflect on your personal and family growth journeys, celebrating progress and milestones. Like for example, my 7-year old, she whoa, her emotions sometimes can be like massive. And I don't know, like now we're kind of going through things and it's not as bad. They're not as massive. And she's actually thinking through her emotions. And as she's thinking through them, she's talking them out. But I mean, sometimes it's not going to be good, which is fine. And I have to remind myself that things are not always going to be good. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here on earth like right now. So I really want you to think about your journey as yourself, as with your family, how you all have grown. Write it down so that you can be reminded. And then that can also be something that you add to your gratitude. And the next one, healing reflections. You guys, this one, this is probably one of the biggest ones. Oftentimes, we can't get to other levels of life because we are stuck in those stinking thinking, stuck in that stinking thing, and stuck in those emotional traps that are not doing anything for us but holding us down. And sometimes we're stuck in unforgiveness and not giving ourselves enough self compassion. Like the same compassion I give others, I give me. And sometimes I have to give myself more compassion so that I can give others more compassion. Okay. Do unto others as you'd have them to do unto you. But what if you don't know how you want to be done? What if you don't treat yourself good enough? Treat yourself a little bit better. So I want you to journal about your healing, your emotional healing, where you are right now, your forgiveness journey, and how you are showing compassion to yourself. And if you feel like you're not there yet, talk about where you want to be. If you're not where you want to be now, talk about where you want to be. If you've come far, talk about where you come from and where you want to be. And if you haven't come far, journal out where you want to be. This right here, y'all, is going to help you take your life and your family's life to the next level because when you can be healed, your family can be healed. And I always tell my kids, they're kind of young now. And I'm like, I don't ever want y'all to get married until you all have a healed heart. When your heart is healed, that's when everything begins to thrive. And like I always say, I'm a whole person. I'm sure I've shared this before, but when I was dating my now husband, my cousins used to call him. They would come in when they would see him when I was at home. They would, because he used to always be with me. They would say, "Where's your better half?" I'm like, "Wait, I'm not half a person. So I want you to go through this life realizing that you are a whole person. You are not half a person. You are a whole person. You will not supplement anything. You will only complement. And as long as you can complement, your life will be great. And if you go through these steps, if you gratitude, write down your gratitude journey. Also, write down those times where you had to be resilient and how they've contributed to you being resilient. I want you to write down things about how you've shifted things from being obstacles or problems to opportunities. And then I want you to reflect on any wisdom that you've gotten and possibly wisdom that you want for the future for things that you're going with now. I want you to focus on your transformational growth, and I want you to focus on your healing reflections. Like, for example, reflect on how you healed or how you want to heal, because what you think on now and keep thinking on, your body, your mind, your body is going to think it's real, and then it's going to come to fruition. What you think grows, okay? So, with that being said, please remember that I love you to life, and I will see you next